to 52 Weeks of Beauty, and today's video is going to be 5 things that you can't or shouldn't do when you have tape-in extensions in. And before I get started on that, I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody. Oh my gosh, you guys are all so precious to me, and I can't even tell you like how many times your comments made my heart melt or made me tear up, or just, you guys are just so amazing. And the last video I put up was a little sad and I felt a little bit, you know, down, but I can honestly say every single comment that came in, I read them all, and I read some of them multiple times, and I just think you guys are just so sweet and so giving and so generous to reach out to me, and most of you don't even know me at all, and I just think that is so amazing that you guys would take the time to do that. So I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And if I haven't responded to you yet, I will. I want to get back to every single person, and I intend to, and I've gotten through most of them, but I think there are a few emails I still haven't gotten to, so I will write you back shortly, and I just want you to know that. But thank you so much, honestly. Okay, moving on. So the top 5 things that you can't do with tape-ins. So these are the things that I felt like I went through and read a lot of comments and a lot of questions about, and I kept finding myself saying, no, 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 don't do that, don't do that. So I'm like, I might as well just put a little video together about, you know, what I would recommend not to do while you have tape-ins. Okay, the very first question, probably the most asked question that I get on all of my videos, one of the top 5 at least, is about tape-ins anyway, is can you color your hair with tape-in extensions in? And I wouldn't recommend it, and I do say no just because I did try it. I tried to do the whole like reverse ombre situation like many months ago with tape-ins in, and yeah, that was a bad move. And so what happens is the tape, the part of the weft that has the tape on it, just doesn't get color, and it's not going to, which is okay if you don't care about that. But the point is that, just say you're, you know, dyeing your hair all dark, and maybe you had, you know, brown and blonde extensions, and you're gonna, you know, have the tape-ins in and put the color all over it. Well, that part that didn't get the color, the brown and blonde, you know, part, if the rest of your hair is brown, you're gonna have those blonde pieces still showing through on the very top part of the weft. It just doesn't get any color. So you know, when I took those extensions out, they're really funny looking because you have one color here and the rest is a completely different color, and it's not a good idea. So you know, when I say take your extensions out every, you know, 4 to 6 weeks or even longer if you go a little bit longer, you know, when you do that, do a little treatment on your hair, like a deep conditioning mask or coconut oil or something overnight, and then go ahead and get your hair colored then or trimmed then, and do all of those things then, so you can have like fresh color and then start your process all over again when you reinstall your tape-ins. Okay, so the next thing I would say you can't do would be a tight high bun. You know, like Kim Kardashian always wears, like those slick back, super tight high buns. I wouldn't think that's gonna work because, you know, I know you can do ponytails and you can do top knots and all that. That's a little bit looser, but the tape and the weft is still a tape and a weft, and it's just not gonna have that perfect, you know, flow of your hair against your scalp or, yeah, your head. So I just wouldn't recommend like super slick up tight top knots or buns. Okay. The next one would be getting your hair blown out, or however you say it out, you know, getting your hair done at a salon where you really just go and get shampoo and a blowout. You know, they dry it and they do the round brush and they're like really pulling and drying and, you know, all of that. I just don't think that's good because, you know, when your hair is wet, it's so much more fragile with the tape-ins. You know, we talk about that like a ton. And I think, you know, if you are going to get your hair, you know, maybe you're getting it trimmed at the salon and they are gonna, you know, they trim it when it's wet and then they want to dry it for you. Just, you know, tell them, obviously be careful, but tell them just no round brushing, because I just don't think that would be the best thing. And if they do round brush, I mean, you're gonna have to like hold the weft while they do it. So I think, you know, if they want to do it at the salon or do it for you, if you have like a hairstylist or, you know, anything like that, if you're doing like a photo shoot or you're doing, I mean, it could be anything. It's your wedding day. I would just have them be super, super careful. If you can, you know, blow dry it yourself and then have them style it, I think that's better, because once the hair is drier, it's a lot more secure, and yeah, that's the answer for that one. Okay, let me check my list out. The next one would be like not air drying your hair. And so you can air dry it, okay? So I think that's obviously really healthy and all of that, but here's what happens is that taped part holds on to a little bit of the hair, the moisture in the hair, like in the weft or right below it, a little bit more than the rest of your hair. So the rest of your hair will dry, and then you'll wake up in the morning and those taped areas will be a little bit wet still. So you might just have to go through with the hair dryer and just, you know, go through those parts just really quick right by your scalp line where the tape is, just to get that dry so it doesn't bug you all day. If you don't care, it might take like 2 days for that part just to naturally dry. Just saying. So I think that, you know, if you can just know that the rest of your hair you're letting, you know, air dry, but just right by the tape, you might want to just blow dry a little bit. So maybe the next morning, or yeah, probably the next morning, or, you know, many hours after you let most of your hairs dry. Okay, and then the last thing is, can you do like a deep conditioning mask or a coconut oil or any of those treatments on your hair, you know, with tape-ins in? And I say no again, just because, you know, a lot of these adhesive removers that I went through in my removal video, they do have oil in them. So if you use enough oil, it is going to loosen the tape and loosen the adhesive part. Even the Weft Release has a little bit of oil in it, and it's like a mixture of oil and alcohol, but it's just, if you're putting just straight coconut oil on your scalp or, you know, anything like that and then sleeping in it, I just don't see how, I don't think you should risk it, is what I'm saying. Just wait till you take them out and then do those deep conditioning treatments and coconut oil masks and all that awesome stuff that I do when I don't have tape-ins in, and I just go crazy with coconut oil and I love it so much. I actually feel like sometimes my hair is growing right in front of my eyes. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I think the coconut oil actually really... Okay, what I was trying to say is it actually really works because of this reason. I guess because of its chemical structure as opposed to some other, you know, glosses or serums. This one actually gets right into, you know, the inner part of the hair, and then obviously by improving strength and flexibility, I think it helps my ends not to break off so easily, and I think that's what's helping my hair grow or be stronger or appear longer. Okay, so like I said, I wouldn't do any, you know, deep conditioning masks until you actually have nothing in, and just do it then and let your hair like feel revived and all of that awesome stuff. And I think that should be everything for this video, and I just want to do something really quick and put, you know, 5 little tips out there to answer those questions that I get asked all the time, and hopefully that will answer those for you. Okay, and I will be back very soon with another video, probably like a couple days. And again, thank you girls so much from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me that you guys were there for me during a really difficult day, and I can't thank you enough. So I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you again soon. Bye.